She just walked the US stage and collected her bachelor's degree in sociology with a minor in social policy and criminology. But it was not an easy achievement considering the circumstances around which Shamil Brown was facing at the time. She's going to show us how heartbreak can turn into a heartwarming story. It really is a pleasure to have her. Good morning, Shamil. Welcome to
Good
Smile Jamaica. It's
morning.
morning time.
Thank you so much for
First of
having
all,
me.
congratulations. It's not easy to graduate, and I'm glad that you did.
Thank
But as
you.
we said, it was difficult. It's a degree, you say, that's dedicated to dad. So let's talk about dad and how important he was in getting you to this moment. Was his dream that you graduated?
It was his dream for me to walk across that stage. And I said to myself, even though he's not here, I have to honor his legacy and the person that he truly was to me as a dad. And in honoring him, I decided that I was going to do everything possible to walk across that stage for him.
All right. Rural girl?
Yes, I
Yeah.
grew up in Liberty Valley in Brownstown, St. Anne. So yes, from country.
Yes, yes.
And coming to Kingston, it was a big step for me when I came to the University of the West Indies. Being on my own for the first time was a really, really big step, but it happened really, really at a really good time. I came to Kingston on my birthday. It was my 18th birthday. And it was so special because we were from humble beginnings. My dad, he was a farmer, and my mom, she's a small business operator. And in the year I was supposed to come, 2014, all the crop that my dad had put in the farm because of the horrible drought, everything went down the drain, all that investment.
Wow.
So I had to sit a year out. In that year out, we had a plan. He got a new work at Bahia Principe, that's in Ronald Bay, the new construction site, and he did that. I opted to work as well. So I was packing bag in the supermarkets. I was working on a construction site, cleaning houses. I was doing some babysitting work. Not much, but my money accumulated with what he had. And then family members opted to help out as well. So a family member gave me $5,000, a $10,000 here, and we put it all together.
Nice.
When I was coming to UE, everyone in my community gave me something, whether it was pots or plates or cups. It's really my community who came together to send me off to UE. So it was
Wow.
a big step for all of us. And that day, my dad took the day off, and my mom and my sister, and we all went to UE. I went on Aston Preston Hall, and it was such a beautiful experience to share that with him and my family on my birthday, and that was the beginning of my wonderful journey.
Yeah. So let's get to almost the end. Um, Dad looking forward to graduation, having the suit ready to go, but then tragedy strikes.
I remember after my final exams in December, he called as usual to check up how were the exams. And I was telling him it was great. And he was like, I have some news. He just got his clerks. And he was like, this is for your graduation. And he's going to wear his favorite black button-up suit. So I jokingly said to him, you're way more excited than I am because it's not even a year before the graduation and you're already ready. I'm nowhere there. And I went home for the Christmas break. I saw him, and we started to discuss my master's because that's something I want to pursue. And he said on New Year's Day, when I come home, we're going to discuss this,
The plan.
the plan. So New Year's Day, I woke up hearing my sister crying, and never in a million years would I think that something tragic had happened. So my mom and I asked what's wrong, and she could not speak. So my mom redialed the phone to see who had called, and that's when my mom got the news. Everyone around us, they tried in their own little way to break the news to us. They didn't know how to tell us. My dad is a family man. Growing up, my dad was the type of person who had our best interests at heart, my mom and my sisters and my nephew. He took care of us, and we were never in need. We're from humble beginnings, but I was never facing a situation where I was saying, oh my God, why me? My dad always found a way out for us. And so losing him on the New Year's Day, what a way to start the new year. it was something I never expected. I never expected that at all.
It was so sudden. It was so tragic. So it's New Year's Day, going into a new year, and having to go back to school. How
Wow.
difficult was that?
It was really difficult. But something that my dad instilled in all of us from we were young is that when something is happening to you personally, it's not the fault of others around you. So being a student leader, deputy hall chair for Preston Hall, and being on the Guild of Students, that's the peak of student leadership at the University of the West Indies. I had to say to myself, it's not the fault of my constituents and the persons I am serving. So yes, I am going through this, and yes, it is hard. But at the end of the day, I have to remember that 249 students went and voted for me to be their representative and their leader. So I had to step up to the plate, and yes, it was a hard moment, but I had to lead my hall. And I went back early because I had a project on the way. It was to get some clusters renovated. And some students came back a little bit earlier than they were supposed to. And they were calling me to say, hey, Shamil, I need a room. I need you to sort out where I'm going to stay. And yes, I was grieving. But I had to put that aside to sort out my students and to ensure that they were accommodated. It wasn't easy, I won't lie. But I had to remember why I was there. And my dad would have wanted me to continue on my journey as a student leader and as a student. So I had to balance all of that. I had to balance planning his funeral from my room on Preston Hall at UWI, calling the funeral home, making arrangements with the casket, with the program. Being a final year student, being a student leader, I had all these responsibilities.
But when did Shamil find time to grieve? I'm listening and I'm saying, at what point did Shamil find time? Or was that a part of
that
your
was my
grieving?
coping.
Yeah,
Being
yeah.
occupied, surrounding myself with my amazing Vikings family and Preston family and my Gill family, and having that emotional support while I was at UWI. It was my coping strategy to be occupied and to ensure that my dad's legacy was coming out through me, through serving others. This is something that he instilled in us, to respect others. And when you have an obligation and people look up to you, I have to follow through with that. So if I were to stop and say, oh, my world has turned upside down and I'm just going to stop what I'm doing, I know he wouldn't be proud and he wouldn't be pleased. So I decided that I'm going to toughen up and I'm going to continue doing what he would have wanted me to do.
Yeah. At the end of it all, because sometimes I think the toughest journeys take us to the greatest victories. And so it's toughening up through grief. It's fighting to the end. How does getting to the goal now feel, now that you've done it for that?
I mean, for me, I always say that when you're going through your challenges, your circumstances, whether it is that you have your CSEC to do, your CAPE, getting that degree, that dream job, that dream car, and it's not going to be an easy road. And I want everyone to understand this. It's not easy. But you have to find your light at the end of your tunnel. For me, my light was to graduate from my dad. My light was to ensure that one day I'll be able to take my family on a vacation. And yes, I studied social policy development, sociology, because my dream is to be a part of nation building for my country, Jamaica.
Right.
I want to be a part of community and social development and to be able to use my skill sets that I've acquired at UWI and my experiences on the grassroots, the grass level, so as to help my citizens in my country with social and community development. So that was my light. And I want everyone to find their light. And you milk that light and you look towards it and you enjoy your ride towards your goal. Don't look at people around you and what they have, their accomplishment. Focus on yourself and how you are going to reach your goal and just strive towards that. And that's what I did.
I think that's important. You've raised a very salient point that I think the key to success, even in learning, is to see that goal. Why am I doing this course?
Right.
What's the end goal for me, and how am I going to contribute not just to my life, but to the lives around me.
Absolutely.
How did mom feel?
Oh my God. Seeing her smile.
Yes.
She was so happy. My
Yeah.
family was so happy. My community was so happy. My friends, my Preston family, my UE family. Everyone was like, wow, you balance student leadership, final year, the grief, everything, and you made it through. Wow. And seeing everyone around me cheering for me, you know, it's okay to feel vulnerable. It's okay to fall down. It's okay to fail, but it's about getting back up, brushing yourself off, and continuing on your journey. And the fact that I did that, I ended strong, and it's amazing that others can look at me and say, oh, she did it, so I can do it.
too.
And that's something that I am absolutely grateful for that I was able to do.
I'm grateful you did it too, Shamila, and I'm grateful that you were able to share the story because there are many, many students out there that are going through a lot.
Yes.
And they don't know how to process it.
Right.
And you will help them to do so. You will take the family on a vacation very soon, that I know. Somebody who's watching, Shamila and her family need a vacation. She need a vacation to finish school. She need it. So call Smile Jamaica and tell them how you're going to take her on your vacation. Thank you, my love,
Thank you so much
for being with us.
having
Look
me.
forward to great things
Thank you
from
so
you.
much.
Shamil, powerful story. And I'm glad that it's given some positivity to our viewers. All right, we switch lanes to corporal punishment on the other side. It's a different kind of journey, but we'll be back after the break.